Yes, I know it's been a long time. I am very sorry. But now I am gonna make the video today, especially since, well, today's my birthday. And I'm definitely gonna release that video on the exact day. But to celebrate my 15th birthday, I am going to be making another fighting game roster. And then after that, I'm going to be pitching a few what if ideas, which I haven't done for like a very long time at least. But for now, let's go to today. And yes, you saw the title. We're going to be making a Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe 2 roster. Now, I say this because, well, we don't know. We don't know if they're ever going to come out with a Mortal Kombat 13 or an Injustice 3 next. Well, I thought, well, why not just make a Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe 2? But as of today, and I'm pretty sure you saw this online, but we're getting a new fighting game called DCKO. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I like how it is in the game. I might try it out to see if I like it. But the one thing that bothers me the most, and I'm pretty sure everyone else, because I've seen it on the internet lately, is that that game is a mobile game. Like, I do understand why, because when I search up on Google, it has something to do with, well, how they still haven't been acquired by a company yet, since, well, the antitrust law stopped Paramount from buying Warner from buying Warner Bros. But still, you could have done DC more DC games on the console. I mean, you were able to release Lego Batman Dark Knight Legacy. Or, sorry if I got the name title wrong. But, so if you could do that, then why not have it also be like a console game? But, like I said, I'm gonna try it. But, I'm also gonna build my own Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe 2 roster. And before we get to the roster, I'm going to explain what it would be about. Now, this is a hot take for me, but I do like Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe. I'm going to have it as one of my top 5 Mortal Kombat lists. But I say this because there are some people that don't like the game despite it being successful. All because there isn't blood or gore that we usually see in Mortal Kombat. But, do you really want to see Batman, doing a spine rip, or Superman, burning someone's, burning someone? That would just make the DC universe look like they kill people but don't care. So I just don't get why it's that even a problem. If they're gonna cross over with DC, then they might as well don't put fatalities, because if you have the heroes in there, then a lot of people may not like that DC characters are killing people in the game. So, which is why we still not sure if we're ever gonna have a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, because Street Fighter is known for well, Street Fighter is a Japanese game, and Mortal Kombat's known for like being banned from Japan. But I think we could. But even then, there's nothing wrong with the game at all. But I'm gonna be doing some something better than the last games. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna have the roster size up from 20 to 40, no, like to 50 characters, with the 20 DC characters and 20 Mortal Kombat characters. And then we're gonna go over the DLC. And I chose not to put guest characters because, well, it's a crossover fighting game. So yeah. Now I did include guest characters in the last roster I did, which was Marvel vs. DC fighting game. But during that time, I just thought it would be cool to have guest characters in crossover fighting games. But now, I feel like we should switch things up. But anyways, here are the Mortal Kombat side. Alright, so for the Mortal Kombat side, the first 4 characters are actually obvious. But before I go there, sorry, but I forgot to mention the main character of the game. I decided to have Kronos as the main villain, since we could have some time shifting reality and stuff, since, well, Dark Khan was defeated, and we get to explore more, just like what we see in Marvel vs. Capcom games. But I feel like the Marvel vs. Capcom games just like has like a Marvel characters as the main villain, which is why I also like Ultron Sigma, because he stands out differently. But who knows? We could see more of Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. But yeah. Anyways, now we're back. The first 4 characters are actually obvious if you think about it. The first 4 Mortal Kombat characters, you gotta keep them: Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, and Liu Kang. They're like the Mount Rushmore of Mortal Kombat characters. Well, the Mount Rushmore of Mortal Kombat itself. And they're actually the faces of Mortal Kombat. You can't have a Mortal Kombat game without Scorpion or Sub-Zero, because things will totally go wrong, just like in Mortal Kombat 3 and the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. And I'm glad that I didn't see that movie and how it flopped, because I found out that, yeah, Sub-Zero, the Kuai Liang Sub-Zero, was not in Mortal Kombat 2, which is honestly stupid. Which I feel like it has something to do with, like, Mortal Kombat 1 influence, if you think about it. But, who knows, maybe it can be more different. But anyways, yeah, you can't have Mortal Kombat characters without these 4. Otherwise, people are definitely going to be mad. So, you gotta keep those guys. And while we're at it, I am gonna have Johnny Cage. That was a big missed opportunity. Why was he not in Mortal Kombat, like the first game? Like, I get, like, it has something to do with the comic of that game basically explained it, but like, come on, you gotta have the comedic relief on the team. While we do have Flash and Green Lantern who are comedic reliefs, you have Johnny. You gotta have Johnny. And then we're gonna have Sonya, because since this is the second game, there are gonna be characters that will return, so I figured why not her. And then I'm going to go with Kano, which is another returning character from the last game. Then we have Reptile. Reptile has to be one of the coolest characters from Mortal Kombat. I like what they did with the character in Mortal Kombat 1. And it makes sense that he deserves to be on the roster. And we also got Goro. I feel like Goro would have been a cool character of that game. You know, we could have a giant, which yeah, we did not see in the first Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe game. So yeah, why not have him? Oh, hold on. Then I will also have Shang Tsung on the list. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, which is usually I don't really do with Shang Tsung's name. But he's also gonna be a returning character, since he also was in the last game. Yeah. And then you have Baraka, another returning character. Then we have Kung Lao. I'm really wondering why they have a small roster and didn't include Kung Lao. I think I heard in one video that they were gonna plan DLC, but it had something to do with Midway getting bankrupt. But I'm not sure if that is real information or fake information. I'm just gonna leave it at that, so I don't start any rumors. Next up on the list we have Katana. And yeah, another one. There are gonna be some returning characters and some that have not been in the game. Honestly, this is the fighting game roster size. We could have gotten like 50 characters. That would have been amazing. Anyways, we have Melina. Honestly, having a Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe story in the first game without Melina is just crazy. Like, you got Katana in there, so why not include Melina? Especially since Melina has been done dirty in MKX. Well, I don't really like her as much as other characters do. She's still a pretty popular character, and also a good character. Well, not in that way. Next up we got Jax, and yes, he is another returning character. Oh my god. We got some returning characters, like I said. And then you have We have Kentaro. And I thought it would be another fun addition. Though now I'm thinking of it, I don't know how they're gonna do a fighting game with both Goro and Kentaro being playable characters because oh wait, I forgot he can shoot fire and stuff. But I next up on the list we have Jade. I feel like that was a missed opportunity of not having Jade. Honestly, why not having all three female ninja characters in the game would be amazing. And then we got Smoke. Yes. I don't know why I'm talking like this. But I feel like he will be also another fun addition in the roster ever since Mortal Kombat 1 brought him back. And then we have Noob Saibot. The only difference I want to make for Noob Saibot is that please give him some victories. Like, I get it, he's a villain, but it doesn't mean you have to turn him into a jobber. Like, not every villain loses all the time. Same with Baraka and Reptile. They should have gotten their own chapters. And then, finally, we have Shao Kahn. Honestly, I feel like I did Quan Chi done dirty because he was in the first Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe game, but wasn't a playable character. And now I'm not having him return, but probably in the third game or so. Yeah, you also gotta have Shao Kahn, especially when you have the big boss. You got big bosses, so it makes sense to have him return in that game, especially since that's the whole point of the returning base roster. Well, it looks like that I have fully managed to have all of the Mortal Kombat based characters. Now let's look at the DC Universe characters. Now we are on the DC side. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyways, the first three characters are obvious. We got Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. They're the literal faces of DC. Just like Scorpion, you can't have a DC game or project without Batman. Same with Superman and Wonder Woman. Next up, Barry Allen. Now I know I know that Wally West is our is I know we all want Wally West, and I do agree with that. But this is Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe 2. We gotta have Barry. Honestly, I could see that universe of Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe last like 5 games. So maybe during like the third or fourth game we could have Wally. I'm thinking third game. But yeah. And then next up we got Hal Jordan. Now, like the same reason why I didn't add Wally West and the reason I didn't add John Stewart. I just feel like that, well, we gotta have returning characters. So, yeah. And then we got Shazam, another returning character. And then next up, we have Adam. Now, I know all of y'all are gonna ask, and which is what I'm gonna answer. Because we have Kronos in the game, and Adam has a long running rivalry with Kronos. It makes sense to have him in the game. And I also like how he was handled in Injustice 2, even though I don't have the DLC yet. But yeah, it's really cool. And then next up, I have Nightwing. Yes, I have Nightwing. Like, I mean, you can't have the DC game without the Titans, so I'm starting off with Nightwing. And then I'm also gonna add 2 more Robins on the list, which is Tim Drake and Jason Todd. Now I know why you're gonna ask why Damian is not on the roster. You will find out later. Next up, I have Starfire. I just feel like you gotta have a Teen Titans without with Starfire, because otherwise there are gonna be some upset fans. And then for the last 3, we got Beast Boy, Raven, and Cyborg. The definitive DC lineup. Why did I say TC? I'm sorry. I'm just going through. I'm just having my head wrapped up in things. And then for the villains, we also got returning villains. So we have Joker, Lex Luthor, and Catwoman. I just feel like that because it's a second game. You know what? No, I don't need to keep explaining it. Y'all already know. Then you got Deathstroke. My boy was done well in the first game. Then why not the second game? Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. And then we also have Darkseid. Since we have Shao Kahn in the game, we also gotta have Darkseid, man. Darkseid, he is that guy. He is the big bad of DC. But Darkseid has been going out, has been big bad characters in the DC a lot lately, like more than Thanos, I can say. But yeah. Since I have Shazam, I'm also gonna have Black Adam. I still don't know why they did not add him in the game. Alright, now we got the base roster done. Now we are moving on to the DLC. Now, each DLC I will introduce in the side of the universe. So so when I start with one character, I'm going with that first universe, and then I going with then for the next character, have it be on the second um one, and then the pattern will go. So for the first Mortal Kombat DLC character, we got Ermac. You gotta have the Mortal Kombat ninjas in the game. Like without them, the series would have not been great, to say at least. Thankfully, they had them in Mortal Kombat 1. Well, except for one ninja. And then for DC, I got, yes, Damian Wayne Robin. I feel like we should give the other Robins a chance in the base story mode, and then we can have Damian Wayne added to the roster later on. If you can see what I mean. Then for Mortal Kombat, the second DLC character of Mortal Kombat, I will have Rain. Rain, I gotta say, has been in DLC a lot, which I could see why he's in the main roster in MK1. But I might make him like not be on the DLC probably when I do like a next fighting game roster. And then for the second DC DLC character, we got Supergirl. I feel like we should have at least a lot of Superman representation if we have Batman in it. Then from our third Mortal no, for our third Mortal Kombat DLC character, sorry, we have Trimmer. Trimmer has been in a lot of Mortal Kombat games, but he's like those rare characters that are awesome. So I feel like it makes sense if we add him. And then for our third DC DLC character, we got Peacemaker. I feel like since Mortal Kombat 1, I always thought he would be a great addition to a DC fighting game roster. And we need more comedic relief, so yeah, why not have Peacemaker? And then for um, for our fourth Mortal Kombat DLC character, we have Kenshi. Who else would not want Kenshi in a Mortal Kombat game? Tell me. Then for our fourth DC DLC character, we got Vigilante. I feel like if I'm gonna add Punisher, then I should also add Vigilante. Like, come on now. And then for our final Mortal Kombat DLC character, we got Ashra. It makes sense we have Ashra ever since Mortal Kombat 1. I feel like she's like the right character to be in the game. And you hear me mention Mortal Kombat 1. There's a reason for that. While I do think some of it is very flawed in the game, they also sometimes give characters moments that are also really good, if you can see what I mean. Which is why I love Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, unlike other people on the internet. Like, I don't hate the roster. I thought it's a cool roster. Even then, I agree it should have been improved. But, yeah. And then for our final DC DLC character, this one is a very deep cut. Because he hasn't been in a lot of DC media. So I'm going with Black Spider. I feel like he is most well known from Young Justice, which is how I was introduced to the character. Which now I have him as one of the main villains of my own Roblox Spider-Man movie, which we'll go through that later. But I feel like it would be cool to have like our own DC version of Spider-Man in a fighting game, if you feel me. But yeah, that's it for today. And I know a lot of you guys are wondering when when I'm ever going back to filming. Well, luckily I might go back to filming by next week if I have a chance. I was thinking about doing it on Wednesday, but since I want to get this video done, I figured why not. And I'll be also taking a break from a lot of fighting game rosters since I've been doing so far like 4 of them, including this one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if I have been on hiatus for like a month. But I promise you I'm gonna be right back. But thank you guys for watching. Peace.